Now, the background is this. Predatory mortgages and the securitization of those mortgages on Wall Street built a house of cards economy that came falling down last year. Now, the predatory mortgages were done at the retail level, but the securitization and selling of those packages occurred on Wall Street. And they built investments that were taken in by every major financial house practically in the world. And those investments, those securities, had a 2-year fuse on them. Essentially a 2-year teaser rate on every underlying mortgage. And at the end of the 2 years, the interest rate doubled. The families can't make the payments, and the securities go bad. And we have one financial firm after another collapsing. We have Lehman collapsing. We have Bear Stearns collapsing. We have Merrill Lynch collapsing. We have major problems at Bank of America needing a $45 billion TARP bailout. We have Citibank collapsing. We have Washington Mutual collapsing. All built on predatory mortgage practices, every single piece. That's why consumer protection is so important. That's why it's at the very heart of this bill, and that's why we need a consumer financial regulation agency. Now, I have friends back in Oregon who write to me, citizens back in Oregon, constituents, who will say, here's what went on, and how can that be fair? Well, let me just give you an example. A woman from Salem wrote to me, and she said, I always pay my credit card on time, always have, for years and years. But I got my credit card statement, and it had a late fee. And so I called up the credit card company, and I said, how is it possible? I always mail my payment on this day. It should have had plenty of time to get there. And the credit card company said, well, yes, as a matter of fact, your payment did come on time. But you know, madam, we are not required to post your payment on the day we receive it. In fact, under the contract that we have, we can sit on your payment for 10 days and then post it, and then your payment's late, and we get to charge you this fee. And we're just following the rules. And she said, how can that be fair? Well, it's not fair. Everyone knows it's not fair. Or let me give you another example. Citizens who wrote saying, hey, I had a whole series of transactions with my bank, and then the bank changed the order of those transactions to put the biggest transaction first, because it so happened that biggest transaction made me $10 over what the funds I had in the bank. I had an overdraft. But by putting that big transaction first, it meant that instead of one overdraft fee, I have 10 overdraft fees. Instead of owing $35 for one overdraft, I owe $350 for an overdraft series. How can it be fair that the order of the transactions was changed in order to multiply the fees I owe tenfold? Well, now everyone knows that that's not fair. Everyone knows it. And we simply need to have an agency that is able to say that's not okay.